damn... Why did I buy this damn class? It's so bad.
Hey, are you tired of buying useless classes?
Yes.
Alright, watch this video. Welcome everyone to a new 99 Nights in the Forest video. In today's video, we're going to rank the classes of the game from the worst to the best.
Nice.
Okay, so for our first one on the list is the camper. Pretty basic. I don't even need to get into its details as it got a flashlight that could be found anywhere once inside the game, and not that helpful. Its stats are also simple. 10% reduced hunger, slight increase in visibility at night, and starts with a stew. Doesn't help you survive. D. Second one is the scavenger. It can give you extra sack space, although it's only +2, and can make you open chests faster with a chance of extra scrap. Extra loot is useful, but inconsistent, so it works best with a good team not in a solo session. B. As for the base defender, it can be really good early on, but in long runs you will just use trees as a wall around the camp, so he'll be useless then, and not even defense's upgrades would be worth it at such point. Solid B. The medic is considered a clutch when playing with a team, especially with his faster revives and the medkit that he would eventually get instead of the bandages when he becomes level 3. The only and the biggest con of the medic is that he isn't really good in solo runs. That's why I think it's fair to put him in B tier. He could be an A tier, but in my opinion, he's not really worth it. The cook isn't really a must-have for your team, since his seasonings don't make a huge difference, but he's still nice to have, because once you level him up to 2 or 3, that faster cooking time and the hearty stew come in clutch. They'll fill your hunger bar fast and help out the team too. Honestly, I wanted to put him in C, but I don't think the medic or base defender are any better, so B it is. The hunter is our first A tier in this ranking. Now the reason I think hunter is super underrated is because the hardest part of any run is always the beginning. You need something that can carry you early on, and that's exactly where hunter shines. The starting tool isn't a huge deal. Bear traps only really help if you've got a bunch of them around the base, but the passive stats, that's where hunter gets crazy value. At level 1, you're already pulling tons of meat drops. Level 2, wolf pelts become way more frequent, and by the time you hit level 3, you can grab 3 items from the trader instead of 2, and that's insanely strong early game. The decorator is a scam with no real value, whether for you or your teammates, as it is only good for making the base look nice, and it doesn't help you survive. A straight up D. Now with latest class in the game, fisherman. His stats may sound impressive, as you get a fishing rod at the start and it levels up faster, and when you upgrade the class, the fishing rod will get a buff. At the last level, you may catch fishes way faster. But all of that, and they didn't mention that fishing in this game is a complete waste of time, because there aren't many good pond spots in the map, and by the time you find one, you'll be in no need for such thing as fishes. It deserves to be a D class, but unlike the decorator, you can actually use him for something. So C is fair. The ranger is honestly goated. You will get a revolver and 18 ammo as a starter tools, as well as a flashlight, so basically a camper class, but with better tools. As for its stats, when you upgrade the class to level 2, there will be a chance that every shot you shoot would get refunded, which means a free shot in simpler terms. And if you get it to level 3, you will start with 30 ammo instead of only 18, which is insanely OP early on and becomes handy for later runs. It was an S tier for me for a very long time, honestly. But there are better classes now in the game, so Ranger class will retreat to A tier, the Lumberjack. Like we said earlier, the beginning of each run is super important, and Lumberjack is basically the master of early game. Right from the start, you spawn with a good axe. On top of that, you get an extra log for every tree you chop, and that's just at level 1. Level 2, now he's got a chance to drop double saplings from a single tree, and at level 3, you get a 20% chance for bonus logs, which means, pretty much, an extra log every 2 trees. So yeah, this class is crazy helpful for beginners. You'll never run out of wood, your base builds up faster, and it stays useful all through early game and for a low lay of 70 diamonds only. If that's not A tier, then I don't know what is. The farmer. So this class starts with a watering can, which is used to water farm plots. Sounds useful, right? But honestly, it doesn't do much in the early game, and that's the part of a run where you really need a strong class to carry you. His perk is that some of the saplings you plant will grow into apple trees, which can help with food later on, but compared to other classes, it's slow, and most runs end before you even get to fully benefit from it. And here's the real problem. The farmer costs 80 diamonds to unlock. For that price, you'd expect something way more impactful. Instead, he ends up feeling about as useful as the fisherman. So yeah, not terrible, but definitely not worth the gems. That's why farmer lands in C tier.
The Brawler. This class costs 100 diamonds to unlock, and you start off with leather armor for a little extra protection. The main perk here is simple, pure melee focus. You can't use ranged weapons at all, but in exchange, you get a 30% damage boost with melee. On top of that, the Brawler has 40% more health than most other classes, which makes him pretty tanky. And by the time you reach level 3, he even gets a 5% chance to block incoming damage completely. Now, all that sounds pretty solid, but here's the problem. Not being able to use ranged weapons really hurts. You're stuck going close range every fight, and that gets rough as nights go on. So overall, the Brawler's not bad, but not amazing either. Strong enough to hold his spot, but nothing game-breaking. That's why I put him in B tier. The Alien, and the only class, in my opinion, worth paying Robux for. You spawn with a ray gun, which is already fire. At level 1, you get excellent night vision. If you overheat, because yeah, the ray gun uses charge and it overheats, you'll sprint slower until it cools down. Level 2, your tech charges faster, so you can spam the ray gun more often without the heat penalty. And by level 3, when your tech is fully charged, your sprint speed actually increases. Everything just combos. Night vision, ray gun, recharge, sprint bonuses. It's a total all-rounder and massively strong. Truly earned that S tier. The Berserker. It costs 100 diamonds, and honestly, he's one of those classes that looks way better on paper than in an actual run. You revive after your first death with low health and hunger, and at level 2, you get a short strength and sprint speed when coming back. Level 3 is where it sounds crazy. The lower your health, the more damage you deal, stacking all the way up to nearly 25% extra damage at 1 HP. The problem? You don't often survive long enough for that to matter. He's fun, chaotic, and flashy, but overall too risky. That's why Berserker is stuck in B tier. The Blacksmith. The Blacksmith ice one of those support classes that feels useful but not essential. It costs 200 diamonds, and the perk is that you can craft items from a higher bench tier earlier than normal, all the way up to tier 4. Level 2 gives random recipe discounts, and level 3 adds even more crafting efficiency. The idea is nice, cheaper gear, earlier upgrades, but in practice it doesn't really push runs to the next level. You're still dependent on resources, and it feels overpriced for what you get. So yeah, Blacksmith is solid if you like crafting, but overall it's just another B tier in the way I see it. Assassin and Cyborg. No surprise here. Both are straight up busted. Assassin's crazy fast with knives and a katana, and Cyborg brings alien armor, a laser cannon, and built-in sustain. Everyone knows they're broken. Easy S tier for both. Last but not least, we've got the Pyromancer, the latest addition alongside the Fisherman. This class costs a hefty 600 diamonds, and it definitely looks cool. You spawn with a flamethrower, you automatically cook food as it drops, and as you level up, you become one of the best classes for clearing strongholds. At level 3, the flamethrower just shreds waves of enemies and makes farming way easier. But here's the catch. The range is short, and 600 diamonds is a brutal price tag for what you're getting. The cooked meat is convenient. The damage is fun, but overall, he's not worth that insane cost. Strong, but overpriced. That's why Pyromancer lands in A tier. That's all for today's video, adventurers. But don't think it ends here. This is just the start, and there's plenty more 99 Nights in the Forest content waiting right around the corner. If you had a good time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you're ready when the next adventure drops. And if you want to hang out beyond YouTube, come join our Discord server. Links in the description. That's where we chat, share ideas, and yes, we're always running Robux giveaways. We've had tons of winners already, and there are more chances coming up all the time. So hop in, join the community, and don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.